He is here, and he will be bringing to us live all what is going on here today. It's a very busy day, and the media is live and direct here to bring to you all what is going on in Manchester. Igbo Leaders Forum, organizing protest rally in Manchester. I hand over to Mazedan Carlo. Mazedan, please tell the world what is going on here.
I thank every one of you that is watching us live. Our protest here is not against any ethnicity. We are not against Hausa. We are not just for Igbos or Hausa or Yoruba of any ethnicity, but we are basically here because we are looking for basic human rights. This basic human right is basic. Somebody said common sense is common, but everybody does not have it. Freedom of speech is what we want in Nigeria. We need freedom of speech. We want a Nigeria whereby women and children can go their ways, girls can go their ways without being raped or tortured. Just like in the United Kingdom here. I can wake up in the morning, any time of the night, and go anywhere I want to go. I'm not afraid of kidnappers. A lot of kidnappings, a lot of raping. People are being chased out of their own land for no good reason. That is why we are here. Nnamdi Kanu and a Yoruba activist is as well in prison. Look, in the United Kingdom here, you are invited, you are not kidnapped. People have been kidnapped out of their own rights. Their rights have been seized. Instead of putting them in prison, they will put them in an unknown location whereby their parents, their families cannot see them. We are here to put a stop to this kind of thing. It must not continue. We need to go back home. We need to take our children home. We need to have our freedom. Freedom is what we're asking for. We don't want to fight. Our fathers told us how the Biafran Nigerian war went, and nobody wants to go that path again. All we want to say is we want freedom, we want equality. Let us all be Nigerians if we are going to be Nigerians. But if that is not the case, like I remember that Scotland wanted an independence. They came out, they did protest, they just said we want our independence, and there was a referendum. And when the referendum was being conducted, they were not able to win, and they still remain in the United Kingdom. So all we are saying, we need a referendum. If Nigerian constitution needs to be amended, let the constitution be amended so that Dick and Tom will say, yes, I'm a Nigerian, so that we can be proud again to carry Nigerian passport. Anywhere we land, we'll be proud to say we are Nigerians. But if something like that will not happen, if tribalism will continue, if ethnicity will continue, if Nigeria will be divided, let it be divided. And now, that's what we are demanding. As you can see, we are looking for self-determination. We Igbos, we are not just nation. Somebody called us a job nation, and we are here to prove to them we are not a job nation. If you check all around Manchester, go to our central hospital. It's one of the best surgeons of kidney transplant. He's a Igbo man. He's a Nigerian. So please, that's all we are soliciting. We don't want to be a job nation because we are a nation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You have had him explaining to you what the Igbo Leaders Forum in Manchester are protesting against. That is why they invited the media, because they are protesting against domination by a tribe. They are protesting against killing of innocent children.
That's right.
They are protesting against killing of women, raping of women.
That's right.
That protesting
our crops.
That very nice.
That's destroying our crops.
Destroying the crops, the livelihood of people unnecessarily, using army and excessive power, using the SS to distort life. That is not what they are saying against. They are not looking for trouble. They are all peace-loving people, and they don't hate anyone. They don't hate anybody. They don't hate any tribe. All what they are asking for is equality of people,
and a safe country where our children can go back and be safe. We want a safe country where our children can go back and be safe. We are tired of all this violence. We are tired of killing innocent people. We are tired of destroying our country. We are tired of destroying our crops. That's not what life is all about. We need prosperity. to be spread all over Nigeria. That is what we're looking for. I just remember something. You know, after the election in England, in United Kingdom, in Scotland, the Scottish people voted overwhelmingly for Scottish Independent Party. In England, yeah, for the justice was being voted in. That is freedom. You have the freedom to vote anybody. But do you know that after the election, and the president of Nigeria, Buhari, he was asked, now that you won the election, what are you going to do? Are you going to serve them equally? He said no. He said no. He said because I will only help those that voted me in. No, this is politics. If there's an election, people have their choice, their conscience to vote anybody they want to vote. And in the end, I've seen America, I've seen all the other developed countries. They'll say, let's come together as a people. We should be a people, not divided. Divided we fall. United.
Amaka Palmer, we're very happy to see you here. And what are you people doing here right now?
The government in Nigeria, enough is enough. The killing, the genocide, especially in the Igbo land, is too much. Okaleka is too much. We need a change. There's a lot of insecurity. Nobody of each and every one of us cannot confidently go home now without thinking about insecurity. Most of the people in diaspora that have gone to Nigeria, they are being killed. We can't have to take our family to Nigeria and enjoy the freedom of movement. There's no freedom of movement, there is too much killing. Therefore, we are asking that there should be security, because our government, the Nigerian government, has proven actually that they can actually do it. But I think they are being dormant about this insecurity, because from every indication, I can start counting. Operation SARS, they actually seized accounts. They were able to even go outside Nigeria to apprehend the Kano. So if they have all these things in place, insecurity in Nigeria should not be a question. it should be something that they can be able to tackle without any doubt. So that's why we are here agitating. Let the diaspora's voice be heard. Actually, let our voice be heard and our cry to be heard. Let there be security in our place so that we can actually come back home. You know? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Amaka Palmer, Shia Legend, in Manchester. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Pastor. Thank you.
Pleasure hearing from you. Here we have one of the organizers of this protest, and we want to say one or two things to the media for the whole people who are watching and who are listening about the protest, what is going on here. I don't know what's going on here now.
A simple reason, really. Here we are in Manchester, United Kingdom, and we receive a lot of news of what is going back home in Nigeria. A lot of killing, a lot of kidnapping, a lot of atrocities being committed, and clearly there is no government, there is nobody taking responsibility of what is going on in Nigeria, particularly to the eastern states in Nigeria. It looks like there is no government. The whole place in a state of anarchy. So the essence of us being here today is to reach out to the Nigerian government, reach out to the wider public, people in Manchester, to let them know what is going on. That Igbos are being killed in quite large numbers, and nobody is saying anything. How would death of 20 people be a passing comment in the network media? I think it's about time. What we're doing today is to demonstrate that we are in solidarity with our people who have been kidnapped, people who are into detention for voicing their opinion. I suppose it's our little part that we're doing today to say enough is enough of killing Igbo people in Nigeria. So it's just that simple fact, really. People have the determination to do what they want to do in the future. That's what we're getting at, really. Because we cannot stand by and watch the Nigerian government and support what is going on. So as you can see, one of our banners is saying, say no to the killings of Igbos in Nigeria. We've had enough, and it's about time our government take responsibility. So today, people of Manchester will know about where we stand. The rest of the world will know where we stand, and we're asking world leaders to intervene, because what happened during Nigerian Civil War is again being happened and it's being perpetrated, and there are so many accusations that the government are behind it. So we're saying no more to killing innocent Nigerians, and we want the government that is going to flourish. Yes. So as you can see, my brothers, we have so many banners saying Free Nnamdi Kanu and every other freedom fighters. They have a right to say what they want.
The Igbos in Manchester, we really see the need for this protest, this rally. We want to bring our people together and make our position, our voices to be heard. What's going on in our homeland, we're not happy about it. We can't stand aloof. We have to make our position clear. We have to have our voices be heard by the whole world. We want a change. We're tired. The killings, the wanton destruction of human life and property, the insecurity, we're tired of it. We cannot remain silent. So we're here today to say, let the world know that we are happy. We are not sitting on our backside. we have to make our position clear. So that's why we're here today. It's only the start, just the beginning. We're aware that one protest rally can solve the problem. We are not going to tire. It's just the start, the beginning. The whole world will hear our voices, continue to hear our voices. We let the British government, the international community, the European Union, the United Nations, they have to be aware of what's going on in Nigeria. Human lives have no value. That can't continue. It doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. So that's why we're here today. It's just the start, the beginning. So that is what we are saying.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, JJ Media, for coming.
Thank you very much, Maz.
Okay.
What message do you have for Igbos in Nigeria right now? Because I can see you are here in Manchester, in United Kingdom, in Europe. So, but you are demonstrating on behalf of those in Nigeria. What message do you have, very shortly, what message do you have for the Igbos in Nigeria?
They have to wake up. They have to understand, use their senses, and know that their freedom cannot be mortgaged forever. They have to stand up for their freedom. No one's going to do it for them. They have to rise up. They have to be alert. They have to listen to the true leaders, those that have their interests at heart, not political chancers, not people that want to advance their own interests, their own personal interests. They see all. They know these people. They know their true leaders. Their true leaders. Those that are very much. They should rise up. They should wake up. Stop this.
I can see you carrying a board.
Well, this of course is a reference to the way President Muhammad Buhari, the way he described the Igbos. He said that we are a dot in the circle. So this is a caricature. Yes, we may be a dot in the circle, but without a dot, nothing exists. Not even a circle. Okay, everything starts with a dot. So we are saying that we are proudly, accepting that description. We can't be ignored. Without the dot, there's no circle. Without the dot, there's nothing. So that's the message we have sent to Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. How you want to offer to Igbos in Nigeria from all our diaspora? Which help do you have for Igbos in Nigeria right now?
Well,
one sentence.
So the first thing really is for them to know, to understand that they are not alone. This fight is not for them alone. We are part of it. We are Igbo. It doesn't matter where we are. We have one homeland, eternal homeland, Igbo land. Thank you. Thank you.
Chukwuemeka Oti has just addressed the crowd. He's saying that all the Igbos in Nigeria is advising you to take heart that all the Igbos all over the world, that they are solidly behind you. You are not alone. And it's a very encouraging sentence. You are really not alone. All the diaspora Igbos worldwide, they are with you. You are not alone. So if it is this message from Mazi Oti that we are taking home tonight, JJ Media will be so happy about it. So thank you so much. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this one.
Hello everybody. Hello Piccadilly. Hello Manchester. Hello Nigeria.
We are listening to the voice of Dr.
Everybody all over the world.
One of the medical
We
doctors.
thank you for this opportunity today
Produce medical doctors here in
to
Manchester.
be here.
We are listening to him
We
addressing the
are
crowd.
the people of the Igbo nation of Nigeria. We are people from Nigeria. You'll be wondering why we're all here today. We are here to make our voices heard all over the world. The same demonstration here today is being replicated in every city, in every major city all over the world, in Europe, North America, Africa, South America. All the Igbo people of the Igbo nation of Nigeria are making their voices heard all over the world because of what is happening back home, because of what is going on in Nigeria. The Igbo people of Nigeria are a good 60 to 70 million people spread all over the world. And what we are demonstrating today is about the political situation in Nigeria, the political situation where we are not having the basic human rights of freedom, fairness, and equality, which is the basic human rights of everybody who lives in this planet Earth. That is also based on the World Health Organization declaration that people should be free to determine where they come and who rules over them. People should be free for self-determination, and that is what the Igbo people of Nigeria are fighting for. We have situations where one ethnic nationality in Nigeria is monopolizing everything that is happening, monopolizing the process. There are extrajudicial killings going on. You would have heard about Boko Haram in Nigeria, where we have the terrorist organization who are being backed by the federal government. That is part of what we are fighting for today. We want to make our voices heard so that everybody will be aware of this. It's not just that. We love everybody back home in Nigeria. We are not against anybody, but what we are fighting for is to have that equality, to be a part of the nation and to be able to determine our own future as people in the country. We resolutely stand for freedom, autonomy, and defense of our own ethnic nationality and our region. There are things happening where people are being detained and incarcerated even without trial, while other people who are committing much more heinous offenses are under the sponsorship of the federal government. These are the things that we want to bring to your notice for the world at large to know that we want to say no to things like this. Things like these are going on, but they are unreported. That is why we're here, to make our voices heard, and we are taking our destiny into our own hands by coming here to demonstrate today. And we are very peaceful people, and we are demonstrating very peacefully. We are engaging in the political process by making our voices heard, and we hope that you'll be able to tell your MPs or your councillors or wherever they are to point their attention to this part of Nigeria where the Igbo nation lives. We thank you very much for listening to us, and we hope that you'll be able to support us. You can Google Nigeria at any time at the Igbo nation to find out more about what's going on. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Allow me to take you.
And we're happy we have had him, and he's one of the Igbos here in Manchester. He's one of the leaders in Manchester, Igbo Amaka, and all the Igbo leaders forum. We're happy to have him here, and it is like they said, that the Igbos here in diaspora, they are not forgetting the Igbos in Nigeria. So the message today is that you are not alone. All those Igbos in Nigeria, you are not alone. And that was also the message echoed by Dr. Umar. Thank you very much, Mr. Umar.
Some of you might be wondering, what are they doing? Some people might be wondering, is there another carnival? Yes and no. As my friend and brother have said earlier, we are the Igbo people from the Igbo land in the eastern part of Nigeria. And some of you wouldn't know that Nigeria was once a British colony. We are being colonized by Nigeria. Being colonized by Nigeria meant that we are supposed to practice the same political system that we have in the United Kingdom. But no, it's not like that. Somebody can easily move from Scotland and move over to Wales, from Wales you go to England, and nobody will ask you who are you, and nobody will look at you based on your religion or based on your ethnicity. That is exactly what we wanted in Nigeria. And I see some of you how you react when you see asylum seekers invading your country. When you see people like me trooping into your country all the way from Africa, and you're wondering what are they doing here, and I've got the answer for you today. The British government is backing the Nigerian government. Let me explain it. The tear gases that they use in spreading on people, innocent people, are being supplied by the British government. Iran is facing an embargo today. They're not allowed to give them weapons and everything. But them that place the embargo on Iran and most of this country, tagging them as terrorist countries, they are the same people supplying weapons, AK-47, because none of them is being produced in Nigeria. Them things are being supplied by British government. And our people are being killed day by day. Our women are being raped. Little children of 13 years old, 12, are being raped. Not so that they are being raped, they will be butchered with machete. I don't know any of you that will allow such thing to happen in Manchester, to happen in England, without coming out to protest. Our women are being killed, our farms are being invaded by cows. There are a lot of cows, people here do eat cows, and they eat cow, and those cows are being ranched. But in Nigeria, a particular ethnic group, they are bringing their cows on the street. Their cows have gone all over our farms, eating all our crops, bringing hunger. And we know that they are being supported by British. There is a British citizen that traveled to Kenya called Nnamdi Kanu, and now he was being arrested, kidnapped, and taken to a country that he barely knows. Just because he's speaking out against the government. Now he's been incarcerated, and he was meant to appear in court on the 26th of last month, and they did not bring him out. Imagine a country you've adopted, a country that you call your own, a country where all your children are being born, your children feel British. But when you are in trouble, the British government will not come. They will close their eyes. We have come here to say no to such an injustice. No. Say no. No. We have come here to tell you people, yes, we are okay in the United Kingdom. We are okay. We have our peace of mind. But my mom still lives back there. My sister still lives back there in Nigeria. And they're all afraid to come out. Why? Because the British government is supplying weapons to a government that is committing genocide. And nobody's talking about it on BBC. You will not hear this on Sky News. You will not hear this on CNN. You will not hear this. We are bringing you the first hand. I came back from Nigeria in May, and I saw all this atrocity being perpetrated by the British government. We are blaming them because they are imagine a man like Buhari, our president, is in England now to take medical treatment. Why will somebody like Boris Johnson go to Nigeria to take medical? That means there is no medical system. A lot of Nigerians, if you want to get a good education, you need to come over to England, go to Canada, go to US. Why? Because there is no good education. There is no bad governance. There is no road. But in the end, I still blame the British government, because if Saddam Hussein would have done the same thing, they will ban him from coming to the UK. But that president we are talking about is in London right now, and nobody is talking about it. And he's being protected by British government. We have come to say no to injustice.
No! 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 Enough!
Our human resources have been taken over by few people. Do we like that? No! Our mothers cannot go out in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, because they are scared of being killed or raped. Do we like that? No! How long will it take for an average British man, woman, child, adult to know that British government invested in BP, and BP is one of the worst oil producing company that have rotted our land. Our land, our seas have been polluted with water. Do we like that? No! What do we want?
We want freedom.
What do we want?
We want freedom.
What do we want?
We want justice.
Never again will Nigeria kill the Biafrans again. Some of us feel like going. But because listen, many of us, we don't want to live here. It's not because Britain is not good. But let me tell you, no place like home. That is why everybody will go to your mom's house, your dad's house during Christmas. No matter where you live, you need to come back home. No place like home, believe me.